Howdy folks, it's Chris and Cam from RacePack, and today we're going to show you how easy it is to install the IQ3 RZR Dash for your Polaris RZR 1000 or 900. It's so easy to do. A lot of companies talk about plug and play simplicity. Well, we're going to show you how easy and how plug and play our product is by installing it right here in the field on the side of the trail. Cam's going to do the work. I'm going to do a little bit of narrating. The first step, if you watched Cam's What's in the Box video, all these products should look pretty familiar to you. You've got the IQ3 Dash, the clear cover that goes over the top for protection, and that's going to slide right into the mounting panel. That's an optional accessory. If you've got an OEM style dash, you're going to want to buy this dash. It's going to replace your factory unit. Everything mounts up to the factory locations. If you've got a custom dash, maybe you've got a Baja unit, and you've got your own aluminum dash or something aftermarket, you can purchase the IQ3 by itself without this mounting panel. Now Cam's simply attaching the 3 nuts that are going to attach the dash into the mounting panel. Now the harness is really what makes this product plug and play. That's going to plug right into the IQ3 on one end. The other end of that plug is going to plug right into the factory wiring harness on your RZR. Now it also includes 2 switches that allow you to toggle through the menu pages on the IQ3 Dash so that you can see over 20 different functions displaying on your dash panel. The buttons simply slide up through pre-drilled holes, lock into place, and you've got protective water-resistant coverings over these switches. Now remember, the IQ3 RZR Dash was produced so that you can monitor not only the factory functions that your ECU is going to provide, but several other optional functions that RacePack provides. You can measure things like belt temperature, oil pressure, and a myriad of other details to give you all the data you need when you're in the field running Baja, mud bogging, doing whatever it is that you like to do with your RZR. Now that we've got the dash panel ready to go, we need to remove the factory panel. And that's very simple. You're going to simply remove the factory hood piece by turning 2 half-turn connectors. Drop that out of place. Now a Torx T40 bit is what you're going to use to remove the factory dashboard. And that's simply 2 screws, and it slides right out of place. Carefully set your screws aside so you don't lose them. And then your dash panel simply slides out of the way. Now once we get a look underneath, we see all the items that need to be removed and plugged back in to the same locations on the RacePack unit. You're going to remove your 4-wheel drive switch and your light switches, your ignition harness, your main ECU harness that plugs into the back of the speedometer, and your accessory 12-volt power socket. With those removed, you can simply take the factory dashboard and set it aside. But before you do that, you're going to pop out and reuse the light switches, the 4-wheel drive switch, the ignition switch, and your 12-volt power accessory. Now we're simply going to take your completed and ready to install IQ3 RZR Dash, First thing Cam's going to do is install the GPS antenna. Now that's going to give us our functions like GPS position, speed, and altitude. It simply screws into the back of the IQ3 Dash. Cam's going to do it finger tight here, but you're probably going to want to give it a few turns with a wrench. Now the antenna simply mounts with magnetic power and is out of the way. Now we're going to reinstall our factory light switch, four-wheel drive switch, ignition switch, and the 12-volt accessory power socket. Your IQ3 Dash panel is pre-drilled with holes that allow these to snap right into place. Everything installs into the factory locations where they're familiar and you'll know where to find them. Now everything's going to plug in just the way you removed it from the factory dash. Plug in your light socket and your four-wheel drive switch socket. Your ignition switch socket. And your 12-volt power accessory leads. Now here's where the plug and play part really comes in. You're going to take your IQ3 plug and plug it right into your factory ECU. It plugs right in, giving you all of your factory dash functions plus all of the additional race pack functions. Now the last step for wiring is to mount your ground wire, which simply mounts to a 10mm screw that's factory supplied. Now for this demonstration, we're going to wire this up as it comes out of the box from the factory. Now keep in mind, you can add additional sensors for belt temperature, oil pressure, and everything else that we can provide to keep your vehicle safe and give you all the information you need on the trail. So in under 5 minutes, we've got the wiring done and we're ready to put the dash back together. Now to do that, we're going to simply slide it into place in the factory position. It slides right into place just as easily as the factory unit that you removed, and reattach the T40 torque screws. The final step in the installation is to replace the factory hood. Give the half-turn fasteners a lock and you're ready to go wheeling. Now, let's fire it up and take a look at the functions that we've got on our IQ3 Dash.
See, what's great about the IQ3 UTV RZR Dash is it has 4 pages of different inputs. The factory ones, also stuff that we can supply you as well. But it's simple and super easy to toggle through. It's just a matter of your first page here, you have your engine temp. You have a direct GPS direction, north, south, east, west. You have a clock, 1:48 p.m. GPS mile per hour. You have a gear indicator that, depending on what gear you're in, high, low, neutral. You have a 3-point park as well, and then also a fuel level. And then you'll have your engine RPM across the top. And as you toggle through, you can have excellent stuff such as GPS altitude, fuel economy, battery voltage, more GPS speed, your satellites for your GPS, and then also your service stuff such as engine hours, service lights, belt hours, things like that you're going to need when you're out on the trail for making sure your IQ3 and your RZR is in tip-top shape. We also have extra stuff that, like Chris had mentioned before, that you can put for oil pressure, belt temperature, oil temperature, boost, things like that. That if there's anything that you've done to soup up your Polaris RZR. So let's go give it a go. See how it goes.
That's it, folks. We'll see you on the trail. Thank you very much.